Nelly, back in 1978 when Nancy Lopez won 5 in a row, she was on the front page of the cover of Sports Illustrated and the front page of the New York Times. We haven't had that kind of breakout coverage since then. Mm-hmm. You think we can get there, and are you the person to get us there?
That's a great question. I mean, I think that it just depends on the opportunities that are brought to you. You know, if you're playing good golf and you're competing well and people see how much love you have for the game, or how much that, you know, how much work you put in and day out, I think that if everything comes with results. If you don't have results, then you're not going to get opportunities. So everything at the end of the day is about results.
Nelly, 2 consecutive weeks of major golf in the round, and obviously Scottie Scheffler came in with so much expectation on his shoulders and has been not quite as dominant as you, but of that ilk. I just wonder, do you draw inspiration for what he did at Augusta last week? Does that kind of help you in your quest to kind of keep this going? Yeah,
I mean, gosh, I don't think anyone can ever say anything bad about Scottie. I love his morals. I love his attitude out there. I just love the way he goes about his business. He inspires so many around him, including myself. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, as he even said, he wants to win every tournament he tees it up in, and that's every girl that's out here competing too. And I think that you just have to go about your business. You can get lost in the articles, you can get lost in the expectations, but I think if you just stick to your true self, I feel like you can live in your own little bubble and enjoy it a lot more.
How aware of that dynamic are you, and therefore how aware are you of what you're achieving right now?
Yeah, I mean, in 2021, I went on a run, and then in 2022 and 2023, golf really humbled me. So I think that they're sports. There's ups and downs. I mean, every athlete goes through the roller coaster, but that's what makes this sport so great. You mature, you grow so much, and you learn more about yourself. So you never take these weeks for granted. You always, try to appreciate and become very grateful for them. And it makes just all the hard work so worth it. But I think I've learned so much about myself even through the losses.
Nelly, it would be natural to expend a ton of energy to have gone through these 4 events, these 4 wins. Where is your energy level at coming into this week after getting back to your own bed?
Yeah, gosh, last week I was so tired. I don't think I've ever been that tired. I woke up and I was ready to go back to bed, but I couldn't. It's almost like to the point where you're so tired you almost can't sleep, like you're just overly tired. But made sure to prioritize my rest. My parents are always on top of me to, not overdo it, or I always want to practice more. I want to do more to be better. So, made sure to prioritize my rest, and making sure to go to sleep early and sleeping a lot too, because that's the number one thing for recovery. But overall, this week I feel really good.
Do you remember at what point in time in your career that focus on the present really clicked into place for you?
Yeah, I would say I was actually talking, before my first ever LPGA win, I was talking with Hollis Stacy on the putting green at Concession. And I was out there putting, doing a drill, and she always comes up to me whenever she sees me out there. And she was just, I was just talking to her about, obviously that I haven't won out on the LPGA Tour, and she just said, when the time is right. So I put that in my yardage book that week that I won in Taiwan at Swinging Skirts. And I just said, when the time is right, it'll happen. And that made me very present, and that made me think of more of golf as a shot at a time, not to get too ahead of myself. And when the time is right, it'll happen, because I've put in all the work.
Can you tell us what some of those sayings are that are in your yardage book?
Well, no, they're private. There were ones that Jamie Mulligan actually had me put in there. So I actually, the first week I had it was in Bradenton, the yardage book. So I look at those things. There's 4 in there, and I look at those things almost every hole.
Your name came up in a press conference with Fred Ridley, the Augusta chairman, last week in relation to Caitlin Clark and what she did to bring popularity to women's college basketball the last couple of years. Do you personally feel any sort of duty or burden to help the tour get more into the spotlight?
No, never any burden when it comes to this. I just hope I show people that, how much I enjoy being out here week in and week out competing against all the girls, practicing, and hopefully, that drives more attention to us. Obviously, with the run I've been on, maybe there are more eyes on me, but I always am very grateful for it because I know how fast something can be taken away from you. So, I hope that people see who I am, my true self, and that inspires them too.
Remember when we were talking last week leading into the Masters how short the odds were for Scottie Scheffler? You're seeing some books at about 4-1 plus 400. Nelly Korda about just as short a favorite coming into the Chevron Championship. Check this out. She is 5-1. Next closest, you got a big bunch of players at 25-1, including Lydia Ko and the defending champ Lilia Vu. The book clearly seeing Nelly as the dominant number one who can keep it going. This week, it's basically Nelly's world, and we're all living in it, unless you're, Scottie Scheffler, it's wild if you think Scheffler's last 4 starts, 3 wins, a runner-up. Nelly's last 4 starts, 4 wins. They've combined won 7 of their last 8 starts. So they're both dominant on their respective tours. Do you see any similarities, or do they do it in kind of a different way?
I actually see a lot of similarities between the two. Both are long-limbed, different swings, but then how they move, there's a fluidity to it. There's a stoicism meets a confidence with both of them, and there's also reluctance in terms of stardom. It's not like they want to be all in front of it, but they understand it's what comes with the talent that they possess. What's interesting to me when you watch Nelly Korda is the fact that she's won these 4, which is incredible, and she's chasing a 5th, which is a major, be her 2nd, but that she's won in clutch situations. 2 playoffs in that 4-tournament run, which speaks to the growth and the evolution of her as a player. She now knows in those moments it's her versus herself. And I think that's what you really see with true champions, and I think that's what you're watching with a star who's coming into the prime of their career because they're healthy. Their approach in terms of training has allowed them to get to this spot. She comes from a family of athletes. She's built for this moment, but she's not going to let the pressure overtake her. The question about Caitlin Clark and being the star, I loved her answer. She's just grateful to go out there and have the opportunity. That's the deflection you need to continue to be that rocket on that rise.
And you mentioned the injuries because 2021, she has 4 wins in a major. I mean, we had the Nelly Korda hype about it as high as it could be because we knew what we had just seen her do that year, and we were projecting what her career was going to look like. She had the blood clot early in 2022, back injuries last year. She went 22-23 with just 1 win. So coming into this year healthy, we were thinking, are we going to see the old Nelly Korda? No, we're seeing an even better version of Nelly Korda, who's now won 4 straight starts. But the next step is, okay, you're dominant.
Majors now.
Let's see you peel off a major or 2 and have the type of season that, looking back, then defines the rest of your career. And it seems like she's in the middle of it right now.
Well, this is unique territory. I mean, you showed the odds coming in. I mean, this is a major. She only has 1, and we talked about the injuries and the up and down roller coaster of a career, which is clearly hitting its stride right now. But she's going to be the runaway favorite. We saw Scottie do it in Augusta. It's like, yeah, he's playing great golf, but look at the number. Is he really going to go out there and steamroll? And he did. It's a lot of expectation, which starts to speak to the taste of the expectation that inevitably is going to continue to come with Nelly Korda. So how she handles this at Chevron is massively interesting to me.
Well, if you just keep betting chalk, I mean, we had UConn win the men's
college
tournament.
Basketball.
South Carolina went undefeated. Then you have Scottie Scheffler, who had those short odds. So it seems like, all right, but if Nelly gets it done, that's just been, it's been the year of the dominant.
It's also been, it's been the year of the star. And so there's no reason not to believe that Nelly, who's looking like that star that we expected a couple of years back, is now hitting that. There's no reason not to believe it. But again, everything I hear from her, how she's carrying herself, feels like she's ready for this moment, George.